This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
It's Vicky Kaushal, my brother from another mother. What's up, bro?
All good, brother. How are you?
Excellent. I have to now add the prefix National Award winner.
Hi.
Vicky Kaushal. I can never forget the shy, gawky little boy who walked in through the door before Masan and then before Zuban. And the good news is you're still the same boy, which is so cool, man. Hi, Nora. Welcome back. You make every frame look good. You don't have to bother about the way you look when Nora Fatehi is around,
That's
right?
true.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
true.
I try.
So, man, this is a big fanboy moment for you because I know that you're really into the Punjabi pop culture. I mean, guys like B. Prak and Jani and even Arvinder, who directed the video, are all guys after your own heart, you know. So, was the lingua franca on the set just Punjabi, totally?
Yeah, for sure. We hate Punjabi. Hate Punjabi.
Yes,
ask
ask
Nora
me.
about it.
How did you deal with that?
I just cracked jokes to get some attention because I felt like all the attention was going to him because they kept calling him Paji, Paji, Paji.
And you're wondering why you weren't called Paji.
Yeah.
I felt like poisoning everyone, not just me.
I felt
in the
like
video.
putting zahir in everyone's drink. I'm like, yeah, Paji? Okay. I'll show you Paji. Yeah, but it was too good. It was fun. It's fun. I can understand a little bit of Punjabi. And of course, I've worked on a lot of sets
Are
where...
you kidding me? You're from half of the Punjab. Half of Canada is Punjabi.
Exactly,
That's
Brampton, right? So I have no
Canada.
excuse. Toronto, right? So,
yeah. So, here's you in this video for the very first time doing a music video, and obviously that is a special thing. In the past, when that whole 90s movement was going on, because you're a 90s boy, who are the guys you were tripping over? Like, if you ask me, Lucky Ali and KK and these guys, I was tripping over them. So, from a pop perspective, who are the guys who are big for you?
My favorite was Palash in Euphoria. Big fan. Big fan.
Dhoom, Pichak, Dhoom and Mairi.
Every time, till date, if it's raining outside my window, I feel like listening to Euphoria till date. So he was my favorite. Shubha Mudgal, and the names you mentioned just now. The whole, like you said, the trend that was 90s indie pop music. We used to wait for their music videos. We used to wait for their new singles. We used to keep a track on their on the like, for instance, their team. Okay, he's the drummer, he's the musician, he's the guitarist, and he's opted out of the team and he's come back and all of that. So these were the news that we used to follow. And but that was the germ that was already there inside when this came to me. Pachtaoge. I heard the track, loved it, and I just wanted to be part of this culture, which I really miss. This music video, indie pop, singles. So I'm happy that I got to be a part of something like that.
And was your first meeting with this beautiful lady saying, you're the bop in this department, can I take some vital tips from you? I mean, look at her career in independent music. I mean, it's spectacular, isn't it?
Outstanding. And she's so the first time we met was on set, straight away on set.
Wow.
We didn't meet for any meeting, we didn't meet anywhere else. We it was on the flight actually. On the flight, and we both were like zombies. We both were sleep deprived, and we both just crashed, and then we properly hung out on set. And she's a great vibe. Like she's got a great vibe as a person, as an artist, and she's funny. She's really, really funny.
Time to do your own stand-up comedy routine. The vlog is a good thing.
Yeah.
Everybody follow, make it up for 20 million
Everybody
subscribers.
subscribe to my YouTube channel.
But the bottom line, everybody talks about what a great dancer you are and how hot you look and things like that. Those are given. But I've had these most amazing conversations with you about pop music.
Yeah.
And at the heart of it, that's what you are. You're a fan of the music. I mean, you grew up in Canada around amazing music. You continue to trip on it. There was a recent video on Instagram where you're sitting behind a music producer, and I can see the glee on your face like a little child.
Oh yeah, I posted that yesterday.
So it's about the music even before about the dancing, isn't it?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like in that video, that's me preparing for my single as a singer, an English song, which I was telling you about last time.
Bang.
Yeah, which I'm gonna release next week, and that's an independent project which I produced and I sang with an international artist. And me being in the studio creating those beats and putting the composition and arrangement together and playing around with the sound engineering and the music, it really gave me a different kind of life and different kind of kick. And of course, like when you speak about the 90s and growing up with pop singles and stuff, that's all we knew. We didn't know film songs and stuff back home. We only knew the albums and girl bands and guy bands and Destiny's Child and NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. And whenever Backstreet Boys used to come up with a new song, I remember my mom, who used to like bust one song. That song, Backstreet Back Up. She'd bust it and she'd vacuum the whole house with that. Da-na-na-na-na. And that's what we grew up with. Oh my God, we're back again. I'm just like, oh my God, this is amazing. I want that swag and that energy too. We grew up with this.
And in that aspect, tragedy kings have always been commemorated on the Indian screen. I mean, you look at what Shah Rukh Khan and Dilip Kumar did with Devdas, and that tragic kings are always there. And in one way, you play a tragic king in this one, for love. People have to be living under a rock not to have seen the video as yet. But I'm just saying that good old tragedy king, in love with the woman, willing to do anything for her. I know you're a fanboy of Hindi cinema. And over the sands of time, who are those tragedy kings that you've loved? Guys who've gone out there and done stuff for love.
Dilip Kumar Saab, my all-time favorite. And I actually got to discover the geniosity of Dilip Kumar Saab much later in life, because being a 90s kid, I was growing up to the films that I was watching, the same era. When I started watching his films, the first film I remember I saw was Ram Aur Sham. And this was because the name of the film was a part of a dialogue that I had to say in a film, referring to that film. Referring to Ram Aur Sham, my character had to talk about something related to Ram Aur Sham. And I was like, I haven't seen the film. I should watch the film so that if I feel like improvising and saying something else, I could do that. And I watched the film and I forgot everything about my character, everything about that film that I was working on, because he was something else. Wow. And what's the most beautiful part about Dilip Saab's performance and his work was that it still feels like it's ahead of his time. It still feels like that. Taking Ram Aur Sham just completely blew my mind. Playing Ram and then Sham, and the way he did it was just outstanding. So for me, and his Devdas, of course, and other films as well. So Dilip Kumar Saab.
Well, I want to know why a girl from cold Canada would start feeling cold in Shimla. I saw a video of you kind of shivering.
You saw my
That was
picture.
a great thought. Yeah, man. In
That's
Vancouver and stuff, it snows, dude.
No, but that's why I'm here. No. I just can't.
You can't take that.
Because I've got African blood in me. I'm Moroccan. In the end of the day, I'm more in the tropical weather. You tell me snow and I'm like, I'll stay home, But when winter in Canada used to always make us depressed. We didn't go out much. We couldn't do anything because it was just too cold. So when I shifted to India and I'm like, it doesn't snow here? Oh, that's amazing.
Snow.
I'm staying. Yeah.
There's no winter here.
There's nothing here. Only it's always hot. And I love it. I love the heat. I love the sun. So yeah, I love a bit of a tan.
And I have these wonderful memories of, because you filmed in Shimla, I have these wonderful memories of just walking down that mall in Shimla and things like that. There's a mall road. And Himachal is that, it's just lovely. Yeah. First time there, have you been there regularly?
I've been there before. Yeah. I've been there before a couple of times, and this time, the schedule was really tight. We were there for only 2 days and we had to finish the shoot, and we were shooting like for 16 to 18 hours every day. There's this one joint where you get momos, and there's this thing that I discovered last time called kukre. It's just some fried thing. And there's this one joint that they told me that it's on Mall Road, and I completely forgot where exactly it was, or didn't have like a landmark name also. It was just like a small shack. And I tried so hard just to remember or recollect where it was, but that was the most amazing momos I've had, and I'm a big momo fan. The most amazing momos I've ever had.
Saying
and it had with a great view, with a great view of the valley. And it was just a small shack, small humble shack, but the most amazing momos. So that I couldn't find. But yes, Shimla, it's always, so I'm a very mountain person. I'm a very, very mountain person. And so you take me to the hills and I'm a very happy soul.
Yeah, lovely. And the fact that, there's this culture of independent music, and also the fact that you're doing so much work with T-Series, and you must marvel at the sheer instinct of Bhushan Kumar to be able to kind of choose and tell what a hit is, because a lot of us can't. We're always clouded by our own playlist and saying, oh, because I like this song.
Because I like this genre and it works,
and stuff like that. So what do you... makes him tick? How's he able to do that? I mean, it's It's an art, isn't
I
it?
mean, I can't speak for him, but if we actually talk about common sense, that is literally his occupation. That is his job. That's his empire. That is his legacy. They understood music from way before our time. T-Series, essentially now they produce films, but they were producing tapes and stuff, and they were the music moguls. So it's an ear that they have, and I feel like it's just inborn. It's just like how some people have this inborn dance talent or inborn singing talent. Their talent is to understand music and what works and what doesn't work. And Bhushan Kumar is just one of them who has that ear. Not a lot of people have that. It's a very rare talent, and he gets it right every time. And I've met a few dancers who have this, who have an ear for music. They just know what melody, what kind of instrument works, what's international, what's not. It's just a talent, I think, really. Yeah.
And the fact that Arijit nails it with whatever he does.
Yeah.
I mean, people turn around and say he is the Sonu Nigam of this generation. You've got to be a fanboy. And was it literally? So talk me through that to the team, which is Arijit and gang, and the fact that it literally happened over one phone call. Is it? Bhushanji just called you and said,
He
"Are you
gave me a
gonna do
call
this?"
and he sent me the song, and I heard it. And we've been trying to collaborate on a few other occasions early on, but that couldn't happen. So he sent me the song, and I heard it, and I kept listening to it that day. And I didn't know who's gonna sing it. I didn't know who are the makers, who's composed it, who's written the lyrics. I didn't know any of it. He just sent me an audio file. That's it. And I kept hearing it, and I kept hearing it. So I was hearing it without any baggage or without being already impressed by the names involved. So I just kept hearing it that day, and I was hooked onto it. And that's when I asked him that who's written it, who's composed it, who's going to be singing it. And that's when he took the names. That, B. Prag, Jani, Arijit. And I was like, wow, man. Because, Arijit's voice is just so soulful. And it's just, I don't know, there's something... And I feel like, if a singer can achieve that, it's just amazing. Because we have... As actors, we have the luxury of showing our face, showing our body and moving and then expressing ourselves. He's just got his voice, and he does it every time with every single song, be it a happy song, sad song, soulful song, melancholic song, anything. And he just does it every time. And what I also believe is with sad songs, with heartbreaking songs, the lyrics are such an important aspect.
Yeah.
They are such an important aspect. And like you said, Biprak and Jani, I've been following their work before I heard this song since a few years now. And Jani, I know he's also amazing with like heartbreaking songs. He's amazing with sad
He's
songs.
like a poet.
His vibe is nothing like that. But I got to interact with him on set, and what I loved about him was young chap just like us, and he puts a little bit of his own life into every song that he writes, into every song that he writes. This is somewhere at some point of time a part of his life. His other songs, the album is called Jani Ve, so he's got his other song called Jani Ve, and many other songs that I've heard, Hath Chumme and other Punjabi songs. They're absolutely wonderful. And Biprak, I love him as a singer, I love him as a composer. So it's a great team to collaborate with for your first music video. And the song just had an instant connect, and then I didn't question it, I just went for it.
Yeah, with ballads, it's tricky. A party hit gives you instant euphoria, but a ballad has to grow on you.
Yeah.
A ballad is not. It's not a 2020 match.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I like that. Despite you being in such an important phase of your life, what with Bartla House and all these hits and things like that, you're using your position to really get your hands dirty. By that I mean going and cleaning up Mahim Beach. So good on you, Nora. That's lovely.
Yeah, no, it is
That's lovely.
something that was playing on my mind for a while, that I wanted to do something. And when Pragya, my friend, she's actually Abhishek Kapoor's wife, she's like, my son's birthday is coming up, and instead of doing a party, let's do a beach cleanup. And my best friend Isha, who was living with me previously, she used to do a lot of these beach cleanups, and I always wanted to join her, but I was always busy shooting or something. Something is always going on. So when she told me come and help me, I was like, oh my god, yes, I have to come. And we were there from morning until the end, until we wrapped up, and the vibe was so real. Like everyone just came with good intentions and sincerity, and everyone just took their little bucket and just picked up everything. It was a little bit sad also for me, because I always heard that there was a problem with our seas and beaches especially in Mumbai, but I didn't fathom how bad it was until I saw it with my eyes. I picked it up and I was like, okay, what the hell is this doing here? Oh my god, this is things that people carelessly just chuck into the ocean for many reasons. Some because they don't care, some because actually they don't really know what else to do with it. So there's a lack of education, and there's also lack of resources. So we don't have like the city, like the BMC or whoever is running the city needs to create awareness, and they don't do that. And they need to also create resources. So they need to go knock on doors, give them recycling bins, give them teach them about how to recycle, what not to throw out, what to throw out, educate them about why plastic is an issue, because it's not biodegradable, it doesn't decompose properly, and what it does to us. People are they don't know, and that's why the beach is so effed up. It's like, it's horrifying. People on my Instagram are like, is this a beach or a river? What's going on here? You know what I mean? So, and the sad part is the beaches in Mumbai have the capability of becoming touristic attractions for people from outside to come and to boost up the economy. But why are people sleeping on it? I don't understand. This is not making sense to me. So I mean, this is a small thing we did that day. It's not something big, but every step counts. So we'll try and figure out other ways we can kind of grow.
There are enough kids out there who will say, if Nora can clean, so can you.
Of course,
it's a wonderful thing to do.
Yeah.
I want to know about your time spent with the army, man. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Was it 4 days up there?
It was 4 days. 4
Beautiful.
days, yeah.
Tell me what you were going through. I mean, if you can. I mean, some of it might be difficult to describe. You know, you get goosebumps all the time when things like that happen to you. Yeah.
I mean, because of the past couple of films that I got to be a part of, say Razi or Uri, I got to interact with the army folks a lot, and I'm a fanboy when I'm with them. I'm a complete fanboy, and I'm a guy like a kid in a candy store when I'm with them. I want to know their stories, I want to know their personal lives, I want to know what they go through, I want to know everything about them. I just enjoy every bit of it. This time I got to go to the Indo-China border in Arunachal Pradesh. There's this place called Tawang, and the altitude is about 16,000 feet. Wind, cold, and it was raining, everything, and they're still there. And that place over there is completely managed by the army. There are small tribal people over there, and that's it. Got to interact with them, and so many fascinating things. Like, there's no network, there's no connectivity. Sometimes they get newspapers which was 3 days old.
Oh, wow.
You know, yeah, that's how much they're connected. Apart from, like, you know, they get like phone calls every like second day or third day, just for like 10 minutes, because then everybody's queued up for that phone call. So it's just, I was talking to the brigadier, and I felt like, you know, I mean, I was asking them, what made you join the army, and they had different reasons. There was a guy who was from Worli in Bombay.
Oh wow.
You know, yeah.
Okay.
And I FaceTime with their families and all of that I did. So I was telling them, you know, what the thing is, I'm a boy who's raised and born in Bombay. Being an urban kid, it's only during the time of 15 to 18 or 20 is when you start understanding what aspirations are. You start understanding what you want to do. You start listening to your parents, that what they want you to do. For an urban kid, army doesn't fall even into the top 5 of the aspirations that he has got in his mind, or his parents have got in his mind, or in their minds. So that, I felt, you know, needs to change in the country. Like, everybody has the most amount of respect for the army. They love them. Everything is there, but only happens once we've already chosen our paths, and
our
we've
careers,
already you know, gotten onto some kind of career path. That needs to happen, you know. And I was really discussing with them as to what they feel if, you know, it gets incorporated in school or college. Like, you know, just 1 year, like, you pass your 10th, and then you're in no hurry to get into a rat race to do like a job. Do 1 year of military training, not to join the army, but just, and it's that, you know, there's so much to learn from them as human beings. Just discipline, etiquettes,
how they treat their women.
I'll tell you, I'll give you an example. So after the entire day of, you know, they took me to the post and the border and everything, and we came back and we were at the brigadier's house. We were just chilling, and there was my team also, which has got like, I mean, a few girls in the team who are like, you know, the publicists and managers and stuff. So they were also there, and so one of the girls, she was feeling full, you know, and she said no to the dinner that was offered, and I was like, I mean, politely, and so I just joked that, you know, sir, you're in the army, just order her to have dinner. You know what he said? He said, we can only request a woman, we cannot order.
Oh, see?
Voila.
Learn.
You know, and
When you were there, did you think of what Dhoni is doing? I mean, sometimes you need to just pause and turn around and say, maybe I can just go and do a little bit of training myself. You must have thought of it. I mean, from what you're telling me, you know, it obviously left that kind of deep impact on you.
I really felt like if I had any kind of influence of the army during my teenage, while I was growing up, while I was doing my schooling or college, it was very possible that I would have joined the army. It was very possible because I can't explain how I feel when I'm with the army folks. I can't explain that, you know. It's something that really, and it's not just fascination. It's just something that, you know, this is how I felt about acting also long time back when I used to be on stage. And when I am with the army folks, I just lose track of time, and I just feel like I'm a part of that, you know, somewhere, at least like morally.
Okay, last couple of questions. You know, the whole world will say you're sexy and you're beautiful, but somebody who spends time with you, or somebody who's a colleague at work, like he said, you're goofy and funny. The whole world might be crushing on him and saying, oh, Vicky Kaushal is the next hot thing on the block. Yeah. But you get to see a different side when you're filming like 18, 19 hours on the trot. Yeah. So you're reading a Vicky.
Well, I mean...
I would ask you this behind his back, but he's in the room, so...
See, I mean, he might just say I'm wrong, so I'm just going to give my perception about it. I think he's cool. He's a little bit shy, so you need to kind of push him to get out of that little shy box. But his upbringing is correct. It's really good. He's brought up well. He's got manners, and he's composed and very humble. It doesn't matter what's happening right now in his career, the success of his films. He doesn't have that air about him. Doesn't make you feel inferior. He is a good boy, and I'm so happy that I worked with him because I learned a lot from him.
Well, Ayushmann said you were one of the first people to call him because you shared the award. How cool is that? And he's got this whole Punjabi vibe with you. You guys talk. He says, after I left Chandigarh, people don't talk to me in Punjabi.
No, me and Ayushmann, we talk in Punjabi, and I remember I was in the part of a look test for Takht. Is when I got to know about the national award. Oh, wow. And in 10 minutes they were going to pour like that, what do you call that, where it's that head mask where you can't talk, where you can't hear anything, you just have to be still for 45 minutes. So they were going to do that in the next 10 minutes, and I got to hear that, you know, this is what has happened. And I called up Ayushmann first, and then I called my parents, and he was at a shoot. So he's like, oh Veere, congratulations. to you too. Yeah.
I love that camaraderie. Listen, you guys are lovely, and I can only wish you the best. Thank you, Nora.
So much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.